Hey guys, welcome back to Open It and Play. This is Mike, and today we're going to be looking at the LADo Toys Mystic Land Liya Alopex, or Liya Alopex. This is called the Era-001 version, fix version of the character. So basically it's kind of like a cat, maybe not cat, dog, wolf, fox, lady, mechanic. But I got this thing off of the Japanese Amazon. I really don't want to support Amazon right now, considering who they're supporting in America. But when I tried to order this figure off of AmiAmi, it was sold out already. And so, the desperate times, I kind of like gave up one of my values and I bought from Amazon. Really don't want to support them right now, given what's going on in America. Kind of a full of democracy type thing. But I did want to show this figure because I have a plan for it. I'm going to try to make this into a Hepzibah figure for my Marvel Legends Starjammers. If you don't know the Starjammers, that was Corsair, the leader. But this version that I have right here is my armless Corsair because I used him for making my custom Daredevil. But I'm going to try to make Hepzibah of the Starjammers out of this figure. I think it will be relatively easy because I'm not going to stick really loyal to the original costume of Hepzibah. But Hepzibah is kind of like a cat/skunk alien lady. And I thought this body mold looked very good for a base for her. And she also comes with this cool fluffy tail, which looks like the original appearance of Hepzibah in the comics. The other members of the Starjammers are Chode or Chod and his little white furry friend called Crary, and the cyborg alien Raza, and then Corsair, who is Cyclops' father. Yeah, so anyway, it's not really my usual kind of figure again, but I've been trying some different figures recently because I do have most of my Marvel Legends collection near completion. So I'm trying to work on customs more and more. So if we get this thing out of the box, it just came in the mail this afternoon. It's a very nice appearance for the look, just like fresh out of the box like this. I haven't actually looked through it yet, so I'm going to do that with you now. So we'll put aside the figure and the accessories, and we'll take a look at this stuff real quick. So we've got some paperwork, and this stuff is taped together. So here's the little character card. I'm Liya, first time I've met you. Do you need anything fixed? Basics information, it tells. Oh no, she's only 16 years old. But yeah, I think this character card is cool. They made it look like a old video game, kind of a retro style. And then you do have the kanji version. Now, I don't know if this is made for the Japanese market or the Chinese market, but from my very limited Japanese skills, it looks much more like straight up only kanji from what I can tell. So I think this is Chinese owned and marketed for the Chinese customers. But yeah, this English friendly version is appreciated. Sorry, now it's not going to focus on it. There we go. You can see she has these little skills down here. Sword training, mechanical appraisal, mechanical repair. Kind of a cool little card. And then we have this, I guess it's a little instruction book. It says assembly instructions. So it may need a little more care than what I expected. And then we do have this little mail away thing. Thank you for choosing LADo Toys. I guess that's the way it's pronounced. After sales service card. Okay, and the other side you can see here. Okay, I apologize if some parts of this are not in great focus. It does depend on the lighting in here because I'm at home today. Don't have to work on Saturday this year, so. Okay, so let's look at the figure and we'll try to get to her accessories first. It's not taped on, so it does come out easier, but we'll see about the other things. Here are her hands and some tools. So the figure straight out of the box, straight out of the box, she does have fists. Whoa, she's kind of slippery. And then these other hands here. So we'll take a look really fast. So you've got these kind of more relaxed hands that are slightly posed. Her fingers are slightly posed. And then she's got these gripping hands here. And she does have these open, kind of open, relaxed palms. Then she comes with this little adjustable wrench, which I'm sure doesn't adjust. And another kind of wrench, some kind of screwdriver type tool, and an axe. So we can see these. So they are nicely painted. I'll try to... okay, this has like a very thin film over the top. I'll try to take them out so we can get a good look at them. To the best of my knowledge, I'm the first reviewer for this product, so I'll try to do as good a job as I can. Whoa, so they do pop in kind of like that. Okay. It's a bit different from what I'm used to with Marvel Legends, but it's much more like the Japanese female character figures, like anime type figures, the way that this is assembled. And for the gripping hands, they're here. So hopefully you can see that okay. They are painted on the nails. And here's the matching one for that. Looks nice. And then we have the other, the other hands here. These are kind of slippery right out of the box. So hard to hold on to. One thing I will say, it's kind of like the snail shell toys mummy girl that I got, the mummy zombie lady. This character does stink pretty bad when you just open the box. So it is, of course, very nicely painted, and that the chemicals that are in that paint are probably not the best for us. So I would air out this figure if you do buy it. Obviously, we don't want to put it out in the sun very much, but here's that little screwdriver tool. Okay, and her kind of adjustable wrench. My father's never going to see this video, but if he was, he would say, "Come on, don't you know the proper names for these tools?" But really, I don't know. I should know, but... Oh, and I missed one. There's one more here. How did I miss that? Another tiny wrench. It looks almost the exact same as the other one. No. Sorry, it just fell back in. I didn't miss one. It just fell back into place by chance. Okay, I'm going with her other accessories. Let's see what she's got. Ooh, this stand looks really nice. Let's take a look at the stand. The stand is very nicely detailed, and it's kind of like a little stone path. Ooh, pretty shiny on the bottom. It's not very heavy. It's pretty light. It does have only a single peg, so that is a bit disappointing, but let's see if it works with the Marvel Legends foot peg. Yes, it does. Okay, so it is compatible with that. So the holes in our feet will be compatible with Marvel Legends scale. So, okay, and we've got a couple of alternate face sculpts. These are in little tiny bags, so I'll take them out of the bag to show you that. Oops, a lot of static here. Okay, so she's got a little tiny snarl, and you guys know me, I'm really not a fan of these super anime style faces. Bless you if you do like it, but And she does have adjustable eyes. That's cool. That is something that's very nice. That's very reasonable for the price of this figure. I think it was 5,600 yen. So that would probably be around $39 or $38 or something for the current exchange rate. 38 US dollars, maybe 39 US dollars. It might be a little bit more. It might be like 41 or something, but I think it's in the 30s. So then this more worried kind of face, I guess it's worried. Again, the eyes are adjustable, so you can pose those guys. Wow! Okay, and if we go on to the next one, let's take a look at this. What is this? Okay, this is her little tiny kind of tool belt, but it's almost like a sash the way it hooks on. So you just plug these into the other part of her belt on the figure, and then it's going to hang off to one side. I don't know if I'll be using that for Hepzibah, but we'll see. What else have we got in here? Let's pop this guy out. Okay, here's her sword. I did say that she has a sword skill. It's kind of interesting looking. It's a little bit different than what I would think. It almost looks like it's made out of wood by the way they put the lines on here. I suppose that was to give it kind of shadowy detail from any angle, which is a nice idea, but it does make the sword kind of unusual looking. This side looks kind of straight up like what you would expect. Not as much detail for the paint on that, but that's okay. So far I'm impressed, especially for the price. Okay, and then we do have this little wooden hammer. Kong, kong, kong. That's very nicely detailed. It's got a black wash on there. I'm worried that my zoom is not exactly focused on the right point. Sorry. Let's try to go like this to get it into focus for you guys. Okay. Yeah, so you can see the detail on this is really good. Okay, and then there's the part of the handle. Very nice job on the wash. Really brings out the details. And here is her tail, which, you know, maybe I should have read the assembly instructions before I get this out, but it looks relatively simple just to plug in. And I think, yeah, there's a joint in these parts. It looks like kind of a regular old ball joint, and this other part I think has a similar joint, but I might not push it because it's not moving at all so far. Oh, it moved a teeny tiny bit. But yeah, this big part doesn't seem to move on mine. I'm sorry, I didn't read the instructions yet, so it may be more flexible than it appears to be. Oh, it's moving a little bit, but I hope I'm not breaking anything. Okay, I'll keep it the way that it is because it is extremely tight. Even if I do something like paint this, I probably won't move it much past that. And then we do have like a little swivel ball peg here. I think it will swivel. Bends nicely, but oh, it doesn't. It's trying to pop off. Okay. It's okay, it didn't break, but it just goes this way. So I might have to play with that more. I don't know if it will move like if you heat it up. It may move if you heat it up, but it does seem to be extremely tight right out of the box. So it disassembles the joint rather than moving. Okay, and then what is this? This is a little tool in here with some replacement parts. I think you can see that okay. So we do have a couple of replacement joints that she comes with. That's much appreciated. If these toys do break, you kind of crap out of luck. So you don't want to be out of joints if anything does break. So it's nice they included something. I assume her head will pop off but I'm not gonna push it, so we'll try to get some of this plastic off for you guys. Sorry, just a moment. This thing will pull around, but yeah, it is solid in there. Yeah, I think you guys know, but I just don't buy a whole lot of anime type looking figures. So these kind of reviews are not my specialty, but I do have a chance to get some of the figures a little bit early because of living abroad. Okay, I think that's off. So if we see the figure herself, I'll get you a better view of her here. Oops. Okay. So I can even maybe get her to stand up. Can she stand up right off the bat? Okay, she can. So let me get her just a little bit further back, and then we'll try to give you a good view. So here she is from all angles. Remarkably, she does have a hole in her butt, but obviously that's for her tail. Okay, and she does have kind of a ponytail off to one side. I'm going to be replacing the whole head and putting a Marvel Legends head, and then try to sculpt the sort of cat ears that Hepzibah has. So if we look at this character overall with this part attached, we're going to plug this in. Whoops. Plug this in back here. Okay, and plug this into the front. And it does look like it'll be a little bit challenging to do right off the bat. This plastic here is very soft, so it does move whenever you try to do it. Okay, I'll leave it off for now, and we'll go through her articulation first. So I can tell you right off the bat, she does have very buttery, smooth joints. So the quality does seem to be there for the figure. Her ears pose, that's a kind of a unique thing to start with. And her ears do move, so you're going to be able to get some great expressions out of her ear assembly, which is quite amazing. That is awesome. Now that's some part that I didn't want to give up, actually. I didn't know that she was going to have posable ears. That's so cool. Oh, sorry. So yeah, those ears allow for a lot of movement. Okay. And then her head is, it's very hard to see, but if I try to disassemble it, I can figure out what she's got inside there. But we'll take off her face, and we can see inside there she's got a dumbbell joint, a double balls, like for the ball joint here and the ball joint here in her neck. So they did a good job. The placement of the ball is close to the outside, the end of the neck. So you do get good range. We'll put her face back on after we drop it. You know what? I'll change to the crazy face. Let's change to that one that I kind of screwed up earlier. The face just kind of rests inside the hair like this. Okay, and then we just slide it back on here, I think. Yeah. So now she's got this crazy face. But I'm okay with that, since I'm not a big anime guy. It's kind of funny looking. But anyway, yeah, good posability, and she does have enough ability to give you some attitude. So okay, and then for her arms, they will go all the way around. It does rub into the hair. She does have, whoa, okay, she has a rather unique kind of joint that I've never seen before in here. If I can get this to focus. I don't know if you guys can see that because of the way that it moves, But she has there, maybe you can see it now. She has kind of like a hinge, like a cylindrical hinge here for this movement, but then she also has a ball joint that plugs into, and inside there is like a tiny butterfly joint. So that is really unique. I've never seen that before, but it's probably not too rare for anime type figures, but it's just something that's new for me. So she does have a bicep cut, and you do have to watch. There's a little bit of hair or fur here, so you don't want to rip that off if you do it too many times. I think it will probably damage that part. But you have enough range. Oh, wow, you can actually go the other way and it'll safely go by. So this part in the lower bicep is cut further back, so it can rotate freely there. So you have almost 360 without worrying about damaging it. Okay, and then she does have double jointed pinless elbows. Her elbows look pretty natural. They are kind of smoothy for being like a character that's furry. I guess she's furry. It looks like she's furry. But yeah, it works very well. It's very smooth. And then she does have these little cuffs on the end of her arm, and her joint inside here, it's probably pretty hard to see, but her joint inside here, if I pop this off there, you can see. So it does have kind of an unusual angle for the cut of the joint, but that is going to increase the different types of poses you're going to be able to get with it. So it's a pretty good design, I think, overall. So far, very impressive for her arm. Even this little detail, I like that. So, okay, and then she does have a diaphragm joint. It'll get you side to side like, side to side like this, and back this much, forward this much. Okay, and she is pretty well endowed. She's got her ball joint at the waist, so if you combine the two, she can go over that much and over this much, and she can go forward, combined that far, and back all that way. Sorry, it's getting kind of out of focus. Okay, and then she can kick up. She does have drop down joints, but when she kicks up, it is going to have to go a little bit sideways. The question is, does she have a thigh cut? Sorry, this is kind of stiff, so this part doesn't move as smooth as the other part. Okay, she's got a thigh cut, guys, so that's great. So even if you do have to go a little bit off to the side, her thigh cut will easily correct that. So she is a well-designed figure for that. You do get a major gap if you use the drop-down effect when you're not needing it, but as a result of the drop down, she can almost do the splits, can go out that far, so that's quite good. Okay, and then that thigh cut is awesome, and her knees are double jointed. Damn, this is a good design. I think she's very well designed from what I can tell so far. So this works very smooth. And like I said, combined with the thigh cut, you're going to have some options that, from my experience, quite a few anime figures don't have. So I really, really, really appreciate that thigh cut. Okay, is she going to have boot cut? Probably not. That would be too good. She does not have boot cut. I'm sorry. Sorry to report no boot cut. If she had that, it would just be amazing. But, oh my god, she does have... She can rotate, swivel at the boot, or at the ankle, and then she does have a hinge that goes forward just a little bit, and then she has these big clunky boots. They do have a hinge for the toes, and she can go back that far. Might be able to get it further but I don't think so. About that far back, sorry. About that far back. Okay, that far forward. So that part is the most limited part. She has a little bit of ankle pivot, but it is kind of weak. So you're mainly getting the different part, the swivel. The swivel is the feature they focused on more. So let's get some comparisons and then we'll conclude this one. So I'm sorry it's going longer than usual because this is the kind of figure I'm less familiar with, and I just did opener. So okay, so if we put her alongside another kind of furry character, I'm not a furry fan, but there she is next to Tigra from Marvel. So you can see she does stand a little bit shorter to the top of her head, but she's not very small. Some of the anime figures that I have bought in the past were kind of really small or really short in comparison with Marvel Legends. So it looks like this LADo toys, they're making it slightly larger scale than a lot of the Japanese companies' figures. So of course they are both supposed to be 1/12 scale, but it is a little bit bigger. So like Marvel Legends tend to be. And just to show, I have my Kesar with the, he does have the alternate feet. Oh man, who did I get those from? I got those from Damon Hellstrom. So the son of Satan, Damon Hellstrom. He's a Marvel character. It sounds like extremely weird and scary, but totally not scary character. But I did change his lower legs, so that's why my Kesar looks a little bit different. And if I put her alongside Corsair, my armless Corsair, then she's gonna stand about there. So I think when I switch this out and I put a female, like Marvel female head on here, I think it is gonna be a pretty close match for Hepzibah's height. I don't know if Hepzibah stands kind of tall for a female or not, but it looks like she's going to be a little bit shorter than Corsair. So, okay. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm sorry this has run so long, but I really appreciate your watching the video. Are you interested in this character? Are you going to try to get her? I would say that I'd strongly recommend her. Obviously, I haven't played around with the figure a lot yet, so we don't know if there's any weak points in the figure, but it looks like the design is really well made. As long as the plastic quality holds up, then I think this is, at least in the Japanese market, this is kind of like a must-buy figure if you like kind of the aesthetic of this figure. It's well designed. The price is reasonable at about 5,600 yen. I think it's very reasonable. So, okay. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Sorry, this is a really long one. Okay. Bye for now.